JDG might just go, yeah, it's like the big brother, little brother moment, where, you know, big brother starts to let the little brother win a little bit, and then little brother gets a little bit too far ahead in the game. Big brother has to kind of just sit up in the chair and go, not anymore.
Yeah, it's like, you know, when you're playing FIFA with your younger siblings or something like that, and then it's just like they score a goal against you, and you kind of looks like you sit up, you start leaning forward. It's like, all right, now we got to see what we're going for here. But I love what IG's kind of bringing themselves back into. You've got little Blanc to try and, you know, deal with that split push of the Tristana as well. I actually would really love to see the Nocturne coming out from IG. It fits into that style of diving, but I feel like the way they're looking with the Tristana, they need something a little bit tankier if they're going to try and go into it. But maybe still going into the Nocturne. I still love it.
So I think the best thing that you could do now in this game number 3 is pick tools that really make it awkward to communicate with one another into JDG. Oh god, Kanavi's on Ivern and 369.
Oh, they're taking this real serious
they're taking it really seriously. Okay, so what can YSKM pick here feasibly? So I imagine that they're just going to go match full top side. Huh. Okay. So, for clarity, my confusion is that YSKM has counterpicked himself in possibly the hardest Camille matchup in the meta. So there is that. But if they do force topside, then there is a point where Camille does just get strong enough to win. It takes a lot of forcing, you know? But again, this is a YSKM speciality. And at the end of the day, he is going to be very competent and understand the ins and outs of the matchup quite well. And we'll see how the early laning phase specifically goes. But again, with Kanavi on something like Ivern, he's got this big bruiser and Renekton, already 180 carry as well. I feel like Ruler, if this Tristana isn't in his hands and he ends up on another AD carry, like potentially a Felios switch, if I'm IG, I think I'm considering removing away right now. That or the Varus, I think, is basically what I'm thinking about as IG. But either way, taking a step back and kind of looking at these comps holistically for a brief second, or what at least is there, a lot of dive from IG, need one more facet of lockdown, I feel like, and then they've got something going for them. For JDG, I feel like they're going to end up leaning on something where they're just kind of standing their ground a lot, right? Don't be surprised if they end up blind picking something like the Braum here as well, and just going, hey, you guys are the ones with Camille Nocturne, you have to kind of commit yourselves into us, and once you're in, you're certainly not going to get back out.
Yeah, and you can see as well that things like the Alistar are good disengages. I like that JDG are taking away the Samira and the Draven. They know that IG just obviously like these very aggressive short-range AD carries that can kind of just make things happen. So we'll see what the side of IG want to try and bring themselves back into. As want to continue that kind of aggression.
Oh.
I was gonna say I would like maybe something like the Varus to come in, but don't think I'm gonna get it.
I agree. So I think if the Aphelios comes through, this is about like kind of overhead with the ultimate, right? That's kind of what I'm imagining here. I feel like JDG just go with like Varus and Braum. And then as IG, you can't go Nautilus anymore. Otherwise, you're just going to lose the laning phase way too hard. If you go, I mean, yeah, Jinx kind of does hyper carry things alongside having an Ivern. So yeah, anything that's going to make the laning phase of the Aphelios really awkward. Ashe and Varus are the two big ones in my mind. And then you can go Braum if you go Ashe, right, for the slow into the concussive blows. Then you can't go engage tanks as Wink, and you don't really want to be on an Enchanter in this game, to be honest with you. You want to be able to facilitate the rest of IG, so it's going to be a bit awkward. Let's see what JDG are thinking about, though, because they could just land on something like Rel for counter engage, but it just feels like a foregone conclusion. There is nothing else that you would really want to be playing here is missing in my mind, unless he wants re-engage. I mean, sure. He eyed up the Braum because I think JDG are acknowledging that, yeah, Braum could probably destroy your topside dive in the team fights. And also, now that I'm going Nautilus, you can pick it yourselves if you really want to. And definitely look to try and win out some bottom side skirmishes. We'll see where IG land on the back end of their composition, though.
I want this. I want this so badly. This is something that I would love to see because it goes into everything we were just talking about. You're going to all full in, dive, give everything here. The Blitzcrank is still good, but it's definitely not a set support there. You know, one of the Golden Guardians kind of specials from MSI. Going to be the Blitzcrank here for Wink, so a little bit of pick potential available to them. I will say that, you know, the Ashe is very vulnerable should she get kind of picked off away from the, you know, kind of protection of the Ivern and the disengage of the Tristana. So we'll see how that one works out, but the teams are locked and loaded as we jump into game number 3 of this best of 3. And again, like we said, IG are mathematically out. They cannot make it back into playoffs, but unfortunately for JDG, that means there's no pressure. That means that JDG, if they do lose this series, they go one series down compared to BLG, who are sitting on 13-1. BLG are the only team that have been able to lose. The only team they've lost against was JDG, so this would be a godsend here for BLG.
Yeah, it really, really would. See if, you know, how much friends, I suppose, IG and BLG are. Like you mentioned, if
how
JDG,
close are they really?
If JDG slip up here, like, it would be the mess up of a season. I mean, remember, they have finished first in every part of competition they have participated in so far this year.
Yep.
They finished first in regular, in spring, into first, of course, in playoffs, into winning MSI, and they are on track. And I don't want to curse it for technically the Grand Slam. It's there. It's possible. And they could do the Mega Grand Slam where they even win the regular season, like, as well as the playoffs. It's all there. Ready for the taking. Well, let's see if IG can maybe make them trip up here at the final hurdle of the regular season. Potentially, I wouldn't say deny them. Mathematically, JDG could always still catch back up with a few series they have left with BLG. I'll make them fall a step behind.
We shall wait no longer. 2 5-man stacks like ships in the night.
Nope.
Shall not find anything
go
for
to the
now.
bottom lane. They're going to meet at the Tri-Brush. Oh, man.
You didn't look at the crystals. You didn't check your horoscope.
Ah, man. I forgot.
And now on screwed.
No, he's okay.
No, he's not. He's fine.
Yeah.
He's fine.
Oh, maybe Winkers. No, they don't want to flip it. I can respect that. You know, anytime I think about those things, like the horoscope nonsense, all I can think about in my head is that one clip of JME. If you know who JME is. For international audiences, it's definitely gonna be a little more niche. Which goes, "You're so stupid. You're such a donut. How can you think if someone's born on the 1st of July or whatever date he says at 23:59 and then they're born the next day, but it's midnight 01? What do you think it's gonna change their whole birth?" Anyway, funny run. No more crystals.
Yeah.
No more crystals.
No more crystals. No more fun either. Do you remember game 2? Everyone was dancing. Everyone was like, having a bit of jolly old time. And then JDG came in and went, "All right, no more. We're not doing this. All right, we can't be losing to you guys."
That is the true sign that JDG are here to not mess around. They are absolutely done. So let's see how aggressive they're willing to be, or not, right? They've got a composition which scales up really easily. It's double AD carry, double front line, and then Enchantment. It's really, really close to bread and butter for League of Legends as a whole. Ivern is very, very powerful with these kind of compositions, whereas itemization is going to be super easy as well to figure out. And IG have to kind of get around that as well. Remember, they are the ones with, I mean, I guess, again, it's Blitzcrank, right? So all it takes is for him to sit there for 30 minutes, be useless, and then hit one hook, right? That's all he really needs. But for the top side, right, that dive from basically the trifecta of Cryin, Tianzhen, and YSKM, dealing with Buster Shot, Nautilus Peel, Arrow, Renekton as well, on top of having to get through all of the shielding and healing from Ivern, it's going to be really, really obnoxious.
I think obnoxious is the best way to describe it as well, because it's not impossible. They can definitely all in on someone, use that Hextech ultimatum with the paranoia if they can isolate them. And again, that's why we said the Blitzcrank hook could be key coming out here for IG. But I mean, there's so many layers of CC and shielding and just kite ability available and tools available to the side of JDG. So we are seeing Kanavi now making his way towards the bot side, just kind of burning through these camps as quick as he can, or liberating the camps if you're an Ivern main. This is lore. Doesn't liberate the Dragon Door or the Barons. So as we can see, good trade here. They want to try and burn off of Cryan's passive if they can, but don't want to commit too much.
Not really necessary. I am a big fan of Kanavi's Ivern. Very, very strong on it when he has shown it. Tianzhen at a decent time. I think 369 just blew the E, right? Or I'm hallucinating, but still gets the flash. Trade nonetheless. But a small win, Oisin. Small win for IG, but they have to return back to the top side. Sure that they can actually get a lockdown on that kill. Again, I feel like if you get YSKM ahead in a game like this, then even through all of the healing and the peel, then a Camille can really start to take over a game. Knight's going to be forced kind of awkwardly away. Of dying, but certainly a bit of an annoyance moment here. Kanavi snuck into this bottom brush.
Yeah, hook does land. That's going to be Kanavi kind of buffing up everyone. They're turning straight on the Wink. He's just going to flash over the wall, you would imagine. Yeah, investing the exhaust there feels very unnecessary here from JDG. They thought maybe they could get the kill confirmed, but with the flash available, it was always going to be a pretty easy sense for Wink just to walk away.
Definitely. Very easy for him to go over that wall. Oh, here we are in what I expect, beyond those plays we've just seen, to be a very quiet next few minutes, unless IG have a window for Dragon, because at the end of the day, Ivern's not necessarily the best Dragon Taker in the world. He really needs level 6 to have Daisy there, and then he can kind of just slowly but surely whittle it down if he's got the time. So I think IG are going to know that and be quite happy with that. 9 trades back quite easily of the minions there. That empowered Call the Meek, that Q healing is always going to... Those trades quite favorable. Again, very... You know, it's a head-scratching moment for me, IG. Or I guess just specifically for YSKM, counterpicks himself into the Renekton. Maybe, I guess it's just one of those things where he doesn't really have that many lane counters, the Renekton. So, just goes, I'll play for the more side lane scaling pick, because mid lane chain connects onto the minion from Cryin, unfortunately. Won't be on tonight, and there won't be a Flash Force.
Nothing yet. Wink goes for the hook. Nice buffer there from Knight. A little bit of a stat check. We'll wait to see where everyone kind of goes. A lot more calm, cool, and collected in this game here. You can tell JDG being a lot more respectful, not allowing IG just to kind of pick up wins or pick up kills across the map. We see off the first rotation or first recall and kind of, you know, re-entry into the Rift. They're kind of seeing exactly what we expect to see. The Tristana pushing in. The LeBlanc's able to kind of answer it. No real pressures whatsoever. Top lane is fairly even because YSKM got that first little gank. So 369 not really in the kind of, you know, most dominant position, even with the little bit of a CS lead he's gotten for himself. As YSKM with that Hextech ultimatum kind of becomes a bit of a standoff, really. You're not really in the greatest position to dive this as 369. You're going to need jungler help either way.
Yeah, exactly. Both sides will need jungler help, right? Like, unless one side is taking really terrible trades, and it's going to be quite difficult for either one to fall here. So expect that it will just be a bunch of basically this, right? You know, YSKM looking for cheeky ways in on the hook shot, trying to kind of dash around. But problem is, like, if Renekton is ever in a position where he can dash on you, and he's got the empowered, he's got like above 50% on the passive, there can be scenarios where you can't really even auto him back sometimes, because then you're just giving him the shield to cut through as well, and then your passive trade is just... It's horrible. It doesn't really exist. So I like how YSKM is kind of trying to navigate that, right? Looking for these cheeky, very fast hook shots whilst he's near a wall to kind of prevent 369 from A, reacting, but then B, even be able to respond through that passive empowered W.
I still laugh at the fact that our observers give that the tiniest little zoom in to be like, and -1. It's like, that wasn't even hit. He wasn't even there, man. Like, there's no way he's going to be able to get that. You don't have to do him like that, but it's a little unfortunate. IG are going to start off this Dragon. Looks like they should be able to get this one confirmed. No real questions asked. Missing, maybe looking for a hook to try and go for this one here. Will land on the Wink, who has no flash, and they try and engage onto this one. Missing flashes away because they got red and white, and they want to fight the exhaust as well to kind of stop any more of that damage. And with the Ashe just constantly slowing people down, you can see On now caught out a little bit here. Is level 6 though. Ruler would have loved to have the Enchanted Crystal Arrow, just not quite there for him. And now Knight, maybe he's going to be able to catch him! Tianzhen, that is just a little bit of a lazy back there. I feel like maybe he thought he had the timing, but I think at that point you need to be popping the spell shield.
Yeah, I mean, I think the problem is he'll so low that he'll die to an auto attack anyway, so I think the end result is he just has to flip it and hope that it's good enough time for him. It wasn't. Yeah, gives the first blood to Knight. They picked up the Dragon though, Oisin. Dragon is secured for IG, so hey, look, Dragon stacking. We saw how it worked out last game. It's not as if this game is going to be like a Cloud, which is going to feel obnoxiously worse than a Chemtech this time around. Never happened to a team that needs to snowball the lead. Ever as Dragon secured. Wink hooked in here. Nice attempt, actually. I think Arn is trying to drop the turret, so that gets hooked, if I'm reading that right, but unfortunately it doesn't work out. And the slows from Ruler here start to come through onto Tianzhen. That forces the flash. Yeah, you're right. It is just... Could have just gone even further.
Yeah, could have walked away.
At the start of the
Just
channel.
didn't.
By the time he's here, though, it's like, well... You know, first auto is probably going to kill him. Maybe 2 would be what it takes, but he would still die. So, yeah, the way you get around it is just don't be good. Fortunately, Tianzhen was just that. At the very least now, he's level 6. It's a bit of a late one, but start to hope that soon he'll look for a play on one of these lanes, as it always is when we talk about these global or semi-global picks. Those first couple of usages always kind of seem to be a pretty telling omen of how well the remainder of those uses will end up being.
We'll wait to see. Now we've got themselves a paranoia for IG, so want to know exactly what they want to go for. You got to be careful though here as IG in the bot side, because hook into an enchanted crystal arrow into a from the depths, definitely not going to be a fun time for the IG bot side. Plenty of single target CC to Kanavi, just like you just do not get to play the game. So Tianzhen is kind of moving down here. There is a TP eventually for Knight. Here we go. Paranoia comes in. Oh, really nicely done there by Wink. He will trade back his life, but what a great flash to not get hit by that arrow. Very clean here done by IG.
Yeah, really well played. Ruler's going to miss 2 waves. Herald will be cross-mapped, and why Tianzhen...
Oh my god.
Okay.
I was just like...
he thought about forgetting it for a second. He's not going to. We'll just give Knight a little bit of backup. He could just, I was going to say, could just drop this Herald instantly just to put more pressure onto IG. And we'll just get an additional, probably 2 plays. I think that's just about low enough for a first Herald to get 2-plate crash. Yeah. There's a Demolish proc as well. Maybe Knight's being a bit too egregious here.
Yep. Gonna go to Huck Splash over the wall. He still has his jump, so not really any real danger there, but IG, despite their proactive play in that bot side, despite them kind of, looking to be a bit more aggressive, they are still about 1,500 gold down. It's again JDG coming into play for winning lanes, for winning matchups, and just constantly keeping this pressure in. Because again, it's just turret plates, like straight up. It's a plate in mid, or a plate in top. It's plate in mid, plate in bot. It's what is basically equaling out to this gold lead. Is now they look to try and go aggressive on top side. 369 does have the dominance and will pop it out straight away. Nice stun there, which means the Hexacle comes out. YSKM gets traded back though. 369 and a 1v2, thinking like he can maybe go for it, was waiting for a couple of cooldowns. But this is why the Renekton is so feared here in the LPL. You can turn plays like that on their head.
Yeah, and I think just a little bit awkwardly played by YSKM as well. I think he cancelled out the hook shots stun with the ultimate, and then it kind of allowed a very fast response, as Arn, speaking of fast responses, is going to need one here in this trade.
Yeah, it does have the Infernum ultimate, but Ruler finds the needle in the haystack. Nicely done there to move around Wink, get your ultimate off, and this is what JDG do best. You think you've got an advantage against them, try again.
Such a nice burst of damage there from Ruler. Crystalline arrow plus the volley and then a flash auto attack. Everything in there ends up being like a 400 damage bit of burst, which Arn is just not expecting. Really well played by bottom side of Ruler, and then they just won out on the top side as well, so this feels real bad. Now, at the very least, silver lining, IG, they've got YSKM here with the Divine Sunder, and because 369 went towards those Ninja Tabbies, there's technically like a full item completion disadvantage, right? So, for now, YSKM is actually going to find himself in an okay position in some of those trades, but in the grand scheme of the map, we'll have to see how much that really matters, right? How much that's actually going to come into effect in terms of getting a couple of plates maybe, or having IG follow up on some plays. We'll get this second dragon, and it's an Ocean Soul, so not the worst, not the best. I feel like they will definitely prefer the Combat Soul overall, or a more combat geared Soul, right? An Infernal or Hex Tech. Clean this one out, but let's get a look at this 1v2. So, Shin here. Interrupt. Ah, okay, that's what it was. So, the empowered W here from 369 when he's in Dominus. I'm not even sure if it was empowered, but he keeps YSKM on the wall. That's why he doesn't get to hook shot back. So, a bit awkward at first, but good dredge line here onto Arn. Cleanse. Not on the exhaust, and then he tries to cleanse the arrow, but arrow, W, auto. It's away 250, 300 almost HP from Arn. Not anticipating that burst, and he dies in the 2v2.
4-1 in kills. 2 dragons, though, to IG. There's a 2,000 gold lead for JDG as they're starting to see if they can just hover around these sidelines, looking for opportunistic moments to make things happen. also known as opportunities, if I can speak English. And JDG just trying to build up to those first items. You've got the Moonstormer Mirror, double Kraken as well for Knight and Ruler. We'll see what the Nocturne can do. Does have his ultimate back again on no cleanse, but does have flash. And we'll see if Knight feels that confident. It looks like they're just going to go for a little bit of a trade back, recognizing that, look, Cryan's got the static now. Don't really want the Tristana in that same lane. We can just move our mid laner bot and keep that split push kind of going.
Absolutely. IG take the tower on the bottom side, though. The Chakrams available from Arn. Very quick and easy takeaway. 450 gold for the game, so that's pretty good. YSKM isn't in any danger of being dove here, but maybe as I say that and the wolves converge, he might just be.
They smell blood in the water. Missing. Looking for that hook. They will burn into him immediately. TP comes out, but the Camille is already dead. The paranoia to go straight in onto Missing, and he will be a confirmed kill. 1-for-1 trade. Cryin did TP up, but that means with everybody being pushed up towards that top side, JDG have themselves a free lane bot.
Great chain CC there from the JDG trio, but they get a pick, and whilst they might lose Missing, and it's a 1-for-1, Knight is down here chipping away at this tower, and there's no one on the side of IG here and ready to respond, so this is just a free tower, basically, in the long run, and they're going to continue to maintain their gold lead and grow it even further.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
Gets those back. Let me look at the replay here again, because again, like you said, YSKM not in danger of being dove unless he gets caught away from his tower.
Yeah, caught away from his tower. Q doesn't actually bring Missing or 369 in range, but then the depth charge. It's kind of awkward, right? Because there's no way to really get out of this one, because the Daisy third auto even gets the knock up, and that kind of confirms the remainder of the CC. Zeroed at that point. Feels quite bad for YSKM. Maybe if he's able to dodge out on a knock up with his ultimate would be good.
Oh,
That's
Ruler.
Ruler
I mean, Ruler's just dead. He just did not respect the fact that he didn't have flash. Gets caught out immediately by Wink with a nice rocket grab. Grabbing him straight into it. IG not willing to let JDG have their way with this. Not willing to let JDG just kind of take things. Another fantastic hook by Wink. This man is a madman. Making sure JDG know what's up. And they can go straight for this Rift Herald. Maybe even go for a top tower as well. There's a huge swing of gold.
Yeah, really. Why are JDG just playing ARAM in the mid lane? They're just standing there like fish in a barrel, waiting for Wink to hit him. So strange. One thing, now, I don't know entirely, since they changed the way that Ivan brushes work. But I know they were inside the bush when they got hooked, right? They weren't behind it. I need a replay, actually. And hopefully it's vision from JDG's side. Because since they changed Ivern Brush, they made it so that you have vision, right? But I know someone was in the bush. So either way, it's just them. It's just poor play. So, and they have a ward in it anyway, so it wouldn't matter. So it is just an overzealous step forward from Ruler, where he gets connected on. But it's, you know, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice. You know what I mean? Like, come on. This is a bit silly.
It's just, and he goes before as well, so the timing on the buffer, yeah, just not really what you want to be seeing there. I will say, the Nocturne does flash in immediately there. Cryin going to be forced off this tower on top side, and we come back into still a gold lead for JDG, but IG picking up that Rift Herald means that they will have a potential to crack open one of these towers very, very soon, and it also means with On picking up 2 of those kills, that's a, you know, very accelerated Aphelios all of a sudden here for IG.
Yeah, almost a Gale Force, right? Like, he's going to be really, really strong. This tower will drop for JDG, and I'm not sure how I feel about IG giving up this third dragon. They did something very similar in the previous game, though I guess the game state was kind of akin to this, where they started to fall behind by this timer, right? But except it was just the third dragon, or the 4th dragon on their soul point. Give over this tower to, this dragon, sorry, to JDG. Get the tower in the top side and trade, but it just doesn't feel like the best in the world. Oh, does he have vision? He does now.
He goes straight in. It's a straight 50-50!
Wow.
And IG steal away the dragon. JDG now caught between a rock and a hard place, but do they want to fight it? Yes, they do. This Renekton slices and dices his way through the Nocturne and picks up a kill. On has a flash and cleanse as 369 did land the Ruthless Predator. JDG not messing around. Great kill back, though, and they get top turret. So JDG forced into a fight. They only get 1 kill. That's 100% worth here for IG.
Hey, look, you know what? Yeah, I was about to say, I take everything I say back from IG's perspective there. If the idea was just to plop a blue ward in the pit and go for a 50-50 on Tianzhen's part, I like the gamble, and it pays off huge, right? They get that third dragon now. They're at soul point. JDG are feeling pressured, Oisin. There's no way they are.
Big time.
There's YSKM on the side lane. He might be 0-2-0, but he just picked up so much gold from those side lane towers. And just losing this dragon. So I think it's going to be vision here from IG's perspective. Blue ward comes down. It's not cleared. And even if they clear it, I think it's going to linger anyway.
They walk out of the Ivory Bush. He couldn't have got in if they just stayed in the Ivory Bush. He couldn't see them. Oh, that's a huge misstep there.
Oh my god. You're right. Good catch. Excellent catch, Oisin. If they just stay in the Ivory Brush, there is no vision. So Tianzhen finds the connection and he finds the smite as well. JDG, I don't want to say it because it's JDG. Like, at what point do you start to think, this is entirely losable? You know what I mean? Like,
sorry, it's just, I love the idea of you in the middle of a game and just going, lads, are we gonna lose? Like, what do you mean we're gonna lose? Like, what are you talking about? Like, just like this pure realization of just like, what? We're the MSI champions. But I mean, you're absolutely correct because, like, you know, you've got the split push threat kind of covered here. You've actually got a great split push in all lanes, really. 1-3-1 would be fantastic. You can go with the Camille and the LeBlanc, either top or mid, or sorry, top or bot. Have the Nocturne kind of cover on either of those sides. I will say, though, you haven't been able to reset in YSKM. Just let that one go. Just walk away. You know you don't have priority. Wait for the rest of your team to come out on the map.
Exactly. Don't flip it, right? Do not die, YSKM. You know, I think that was one of our big... That's one thing I can say about YSKM's mid-games a fair amount is I feel like in his debut split in spring, he definitely... You know, you could see the levels of aggression he had in lane. That was a given. And whilst those have stayed, I feel like his whoopsie-daisy moments in you know, in lane have certainly kind of faded. And I think it's also kind of transitioned into his mid-games too. Because I feel like if this was YSKM from last split, like he walks up, he wants that cannon, and then he just dies. You know, like... Bit of a lack of discipline. Definitely been ironed out with a little bit more tenor here. As speaking of discipline, typically JDG's strong suit, I would have to say. Hasn't been present this game, but they are trying to reclaim some vision here on the top side and just ensure that they try and keep IG working as blind as possible as this Baron is up. But Dragon's 2 minutes away, and that's soul for IG. Whether or not they feel like they can fight it 5v5 is a different question entirely. Whether or not they try and go for that gambit, right? Give up fourth dragon, give up that soul point dragon, or soul dragon rather, and go towards that Baron. Those are going to be the questions I'm looking at for IG.
I mean, the big thing now is that Ruler just got a reset in. Yep, got the Triforce completed there, so he's back up onto item parity with the likes of On. You have 2 items pretty much across the board here. You would love as IG to finish up that oh my god, I forgot the name of it. The AP item that stuns people. What's that called?
Everfrost.
Everfrost. Thank you so much. I was actually thinking Frost Ever, and it just completely screwed me up. But yeah, I was just like, I mean, it can feel like that sometimes as the Wink throws in a random thing. Knight having a little bit of a go right now. They're going to jump in as well with the paranoia. Knight trying to get away, but he cannot jump out of the Hextech ultimatum now. You can see Kanavi flashing away. 369 is tearing through the backside again. They will get a perfect cleanse from On after the fact, though, because he perfectly fights that crocodile and he keeps his mouth shut. 2-for-1 trade overall now for IG, and do they want to try and risk it? I don't think they can without a jungler.
No, not without Tianzhen on the map. Really like that from IG. Force on tonight. I'm not sure entirely how it even really kicked off, to be honest with you, but hey, it happens, right? And they find both the solo laners here. It's going to mean that Knight is probably going to have to blow his teleport maybe to get back out on the map, but maybe with Tianzhen being dead, he feels all right to not have to be able to force that one out. Chain's going to go a bit wide, so Ruler's not going to eat more HP than he has to. Yeah, replay. What is this? It's Knight that engages this. Wow. Knight goes in. Teleport is first. But the response is quite quick. And the problem for Knight here is that he really has to hold the Buster shot until YSKM actually looks for the hook shot, right? But he uses it preemptively to get him on, like, away from him already. Massive damage from 369. But look at the Captain Jack from... He doesn't stop.
Oh my god. It was frame perfect. Frame perfect. And now with the chakrams,
we spoke about the gambit.
It's gone. Oh lord, we're starting to get a bit funky.
Fans, hold your breath, because IG are making your team sweat. No doubt about it. We'll pick up this one individual dragon. Be secured. What can IG get accomplished with this Baron buff. There's an inner on the bottom side, which is really low. And then, of course, there's that tier 1, which you expect to naturally fall to the wayside with this siege. So let's see exactly how they go about it. IG looking pretty strong right now, Oisin, it has to be said. I think JDG have given them a little bit too much leeway. You know, game 2, you could tell they were having a lot of fun with it. Game 3 here,
dancing.
They were dancing, exactly. Game 3 here has been, you know, an attempt from JDG to try and put the series to bed. They were almost 2,500, 3,000 gold up. They fumbled that gold difference now. It's actually almost that much in IG's favor.
Well, SKM maybe getting baited in here if he's not too careful. There's two very, very tanky boys moving up towards him to support Knight. I think he recognizes that. No one's showing on the map. But, I mean, this is what I always say when coming to the LPL. There are no easy matchups. There are no guaranteed wins because of teams like IG being able to pull out performances like this. They feel, like, again, just to reiterate, IG are out of playoffs. They mathematically cannot make it in to the playoffs right now because of their game difference score. I think they're on -14 or something like that. So this is a purely to play spoiler against JDG, who are not locked for top 2 just yet. So still plenty to be played for here for JDG. A win would almost certainly have confirmed it. And we always have to give ourselves that little bit of a, you know, caveat of it. It's still JDG. They could still come back and win it. But at 3,500 gold, the rest of IG own the top side or the bottom side of this map. But yeah, like, I mean, this is great from IG. Who can deal with the Camille? No one really. A Tianzhen perfect spell shield onto the arrow as well.
Yeah, really good stuff. I mean, this is tense. I mean, even Cryin gonna eat that depth charge, but he's so far back it won't even matter. So that's 2 ultimates now blown from JDG. WiseCam can maybe collapse onto missing.
Oh, they're looking to try and burn him down. He gets so low and finally gets dragged right back. Wing confirms that when YSKM goes in alongside the Nocturne that killed off Knight, but can they kill off Ruler? Ruler's still putting in the DPS, and Ruler is a scary man. 369 as well. You can see Cryin just trying to maybe just delay everyone from moving forward onto this one here, but a 2-for-2 trade, and you can never count JDG out.
Yeah, you can't, but it's IG just overreaching. I feel like you can really see the kind of, this is a borderline inexperience moment from like the top half of the map here from IG, because all you have to do is wait for JDG to funnel into this choke to defend missing, and you're golden. You've got Infernum and you've got Gravitum on your Aphelios, but they dive forward. Here's the initial replay. Wow, he had not a lot of time to react to that at all.
He said, hey, On, look at this.
Yeah. But then On's behind everyone. And then YSKM comes in for the collapse. Again, this collapse from YSKM, solid, not too bad, but they just can't overcommit like they do here for the kill. That's it, right? They're all in the choke. They need to kite back now. But the fact that YSKM sees red, tries to find Knight, and they do get him at the end of the day, they're underneath the tower, not hitting Ruler, and with 369, with an Ivern on top of him, no less, dishing out all of this AoE damage. It's too much to give over to JDG. They do take that skirmish.
I mean, I didn't even notice it the first time we saw it, but 369 just lasered in on top of On, goes in, gets him completely killed off straight away.
Yeah, just pretty much like borderline 100-0'd him with the Ivern shield on top, so it's pretty damn difficult to cut through right now. But IG certainly can. They just have to identify the strong points and the weak points, and the win conditions of any individual skirmish, right? Like, in their heads, they had to be drawing that battle line of, okay, if they start to push into the bush, then that's where we hold them, right? Like, you know, that sounded like a war general there, but that's how you have to play it. Like, that's what you have to do in that kind of situation. You take down missing, even if you don't get him, feels bad, right? Just disengage, you still hold that bottom side of the quadrant. JDG would still have to reclaim it, but now they're able to just kind of push back in and it still feels all right.
See if they want to try and fight for this one here. IG still ahead. Definitely need to put that in there. Still about 2,500 gold there in the Ascendancy. We will have a third item, though, finish up for Ruler. Gets that Runan's Hurricane. YSKM going to have a TP from Cryin coming in as he finishes off his Death Cap. We are starting to hit big item thresholds here as everyone starts to move around this Ocean Soul for IG. For JDG, they have to burn through GA on YSKM. A stopwatch on Cryin. Actually, excuse me, not Cryin, on. So On will be able to have a full play here to defend himself, and has great guns for it as well. Jamada, how do you want to see people approach this fight?
I think for IG, again, same kind of deal. Oh, if they kill off Daisy, that's going to feel really nice, because Daisy's like a 6th champion for JDG. Relatively
mobile ward
cooldown as well. Mobile ward, a little bit of everything there. So I think for IG, I mean, you can't really defend these chokes anymore. It looks like they're just going for a burst. If you're JDG, just don't get flanked sillily. Track that. 369 really needs to try and mark this. Cryin over the wall.
YSKM moving forward into this one here. He knows he's been spotted out. There's the paranoia popped by IG. They're looking to try and dive here, but do they have the damage? There we go. Jumping in. The Imperial secures the soul as they look to try and turn back this fight. But look at the damage from Ruler. He's constantly putting out DPS, untouched, unfazed, and unbothered by IG. And now On gets caught out, trying to see if he can burn down people with the Infernum. He's got plenty of damage, and it's going to be all on. 369 tries to go in, but he stands the wrong target. Now Knight and Ruler are trying to kite this one back. They will not be able to get him. One more auto. There it is. Knight confirms it. It is still sold for IG, but Ruler trying to go 1v1 versus Cryin. And everybody backs themselves away. There's a lot of pings going here on top of this Baron right now. Don't think anyone can really take it, but JDG maybe feeling
JDG
like because they have the jungler.
Daisy out. They can pull Daisy out. That's the thing. And they also have the teleport out from Knight, so Daisy can tank it. They've got 280 carries. Healing will come through. IG have to get these guys off the Baron. Moonlight Vigil is a long way away. Arn no longer has the Caliburn to match the range. Cryin has to be the poke master here. And if he's not, then this is just secure. Yeah, he's on his way.
TP on top of this one here, but no, immediately does not get to do anything. They jump straight onto On, who's got the damage, but can they get the hook? No, they cannot. Yes, they can. How the hell does Knight get caught out by that? Now you can see On getting taken out as Ruler starts absolutely pew-pewing people. Will finally be taken down by YSKM, but Jamada, this game is getting scrappy. Not quite done just yet. As you can see,
YSKM turn around.
Getting called around, but YSKM now doesn't really have any support. They will get the hook back as Wing tries to help out his top laner. YSKM cannot run away, and 369 picks up that kill. What an extended play here at the end of it all.
This started at the Dragon. Elder spawns in 4.5 minutes. That means that entire sequence was 2 minutes long. JDG should still be able to go towards the Dragon here, but Tianzhen is up. He is here and ready to flip it again. He won the last 50-50. He's got Smite, he's got Paranoia, and he's got the Flash. All he needs is a bit of vision. I think Wink should be able to give it to him. I'm not sure if he's out of wards or not. I think he is. I don't see a number next to it, so a bit awkward. Got the control in the back of the pit.
There, they will get a hook over to 369. You'll see him kind of maybe get a bit of fear there, but he needs to get back over the wall. There it is. It's not a fast Baron, and Cryine's respawned. Everyone's respawning. Here we go. They've got the vision on it. They're going to look for a hook. He goes in. They're going to try and burn him down. It's going to be a smite fight. It's LeBlanc to confirm it. IG steal away the Baron, and JDG are still wanting in these objective fights.
Dude, what the hell is going on in these games? JDG can't secure an objective to save their life in these 50-50 moments. I have to give credit to Tianzhen. We're immediately going into a replay because we have to. It's not even going to be at the Dragon. It's here. Root Caller from Kanavi keeps Cryin in place. And immediately he's bursted down by the double AD carries. Good stuff. Knight finds his window. The issue is he's not expecting Wink to be over the wall right here. Quick connects. On maybe a brief second too early on this stopwatch could have turned around more damage into Ruler. Block from Wink as well on the arrow so that maybe you see more return damage. It doesn't matter. The Flash, a bit redundant as YSKM still has the gap closed. And at this point, this is where YSKM, he just goes too far, right? This is just one of those moments where it's YSKM doing YSKM things, just overreaches, thinks more of the position that he's in. It's another re-engage on top of this. Cryin all the way from base. Is able to put. I think he's the one that gets vision initially.
I swear if it's static, I'm gonna scream.
I mean, okay, let's see if we can track where this auto goes, because I think he dumps his damage into the Baron, right? Because he's the one that secures it. Oh no, no, it's a combo. It's a combo. It's not the auto attack.
It's all right.
It's not the auto attack. It's fine. It's fine. But goodness me, take a breath. And someone check on Kitty. She's the world's biggest JDG fan, actually.
I was going to say, poor Kitty right now. She's probably sweating more than we are. Probably screaming more than we are, to be perfectly honest, because she is probably just as confused as to why these fights are going in. Missing did actually throw a hook, and yeah, he gets hooked right back on top of that one. Really bad mistake there from Missing, and now 369 gets jumped on here by YSKM and Tianzhen. They did commit the paranoia to that, but the dominance was popped as well. So now JDG 4v5, and this is a 40-second death timer for the moment, so they're not going to be able to kind of, you know, look for that perfect engage. It's going to be difficult to try to defend this.
Yeah, I think IG just take this tier 2. Is base overzealous of 45 seconds? I mean, if Wink can find an angle for a hook, then maybe not. But like
YSKM's split pushing, he's got a lot of damage.
Brute force there enough. Brute force there enough. This is actually huge.
This is huge. They will pop open the base. Inhibitor will go down. Knight got the buffer on the Blitz hook as Cryin just keeps everyone at arm's length. A minute until Elder spawns. IG looking to take the scalp of the century in this summer split. Doesn't matter if you can't make playoffs, you can play spoiler. BLG fans looking, and honestly top esports fan looking in big anticipation here with that cannon still buffed up for 10 seconds. It will be difficult for them to confirm it, but they should be able to get this almost a breath away from being taken down.
Oh, wait. Why do they want to stay here, though?
Missing
again.
Flashed away, doesn't die, but it means that, again, the next wave, you can't defend this one here. That's 2 inhibitors exposed, 1 inhibitor down, the second one not even going to be a footnote in IG's resume.
Oh,
as they look to take a huge step forward here for themselves. There's an Ashel, but they're looking for the fight straight away. They're going to see the hook go wide. There's the Moonlight Vigil to put in decent damage as Ruler is still putting in some work. The Paranoia finally comes out. YSKM goes into GA. They've taken down Missing, but Ruler still putting in some work. They have got the Runads, and these helpers are getting low. 369 takes down the Nocturne. Ruler is still pushing. Ruler is still putting in DPS, and Ruler is still going ham. Gets the GA out of on, comes out of stasis, but they cannot block it, and IG look like they've done it. They will take a scalp off of JDG, and they will continue to be spoilers in the LPL.
You've heard of David and Goliath, but you might have to rewrite a story for this series. IG, after a miserable season, right on the back end, played the biggest spoiler in the world you could imagine.